Howdy, folks. I'm back, and it's been a couple weeks, but I have had this box I've been sitting on for a little bit. And I'm going to explain how this happened a little bit, because it's not what I usually or have done in the past. It's not what I usually do or have done in the past. Most of the time, I just kind of, when I buy a box, I'm buying the whole thing relatively sight unseen. And like I'll pop it open and kind of take a look and see if it is at least possibly in the ballpark of what I'm willing to pay. There have been a couple that I've filmed here where I didn't really know what was in there, not to the extent anyway. So, but this one's a little bit different. So a few weeks ago, I went to an estate sale that had a lot of tools. Guy was a woodworker primarily, but and I was after mostly an old Delta shaper. And the shaper was a little bit out of my price range the first day. So, and it was a 3-day sale. So I went back the third day and it was still there, which is typically a 50% off day. And got it, brought it home, a few other things here and there, but that was about it. I didn't really dig around too much beyond that. I did have to kind of find some of the things that I needed for the shaper. But anyway, this turns out the estate sale company had not sold as much as they would like, and it was very busy, but there was still a lot left. So the weekend after, they had a 75% off sale, and I was like interested in that. So I went towards, I think about the halfway mark. They go from 9 or 10 a.m. till 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And at that point, they were basically just saying, make a pile and make an offer. So I asked him, I was like, I liked this box, and it was priced at $10, but it had a bunch of plumbing, like old plumbing parts and stuff in it. So I asked him, I was like, can I empty this? And they said, yeah, just empty it into this cardboard box. And then they saw the price tag on it, and I was like, can I dig around and fill it? And they said, yeah. So for $10, basically, I got, if that makes sense, I got this box and everything I could put in it. So I spent a bit of time digging around, finding stuff that I liked and needed. Mostly had the place kind of to myself, so it was pretty nice. But that's an SK Sherman, Klove, Chicago, Illinois, Tombstone shaped box. So it's kind of, you know what I mean? Has the tray, these piano hinges. It's all original. It's in really nice shape. There's a little bit of surface rust here and there, but considering the age, it's pretty fantastic. So, but the way that this one is different is because I got to kind of curate everything that's inside, and I know what's in here because I got to pick it. So without further ado, I guess I'll share everything that's in there. I mean, the box itself, like, honestly, worth the price. So first off, we have some old school vintage auto parts stickers, a couple of Hearst, a McLeod. It's probably not McLeod. I'll just go with McLeod. And these are pretty great. I'll hold on to these until I find the right box to put them on. I'm not really a car working guy, but, you know, got to look the part, I guess. Next up, we have a Starrett New in box, Edge Finder 827A. So when you open that up, there it is in the little plastic envelope. Made in the US, so that's nice. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. I did have to peel some tape off to get it open and make sure that was what was in there, but so an engineer compass. It's kind of nice. It's got a brass ring. Looks to be aluminum painted and brass. Might be military. I don't know. The military ones I've seen in the past usually see Army Corps of Engineers on them, but let's see what else. Got some calipers. Some pretty nice shape. Need to clean up, obviously. I don't know if you can see that. Union Tool Company. Always can use those myself. Some shears. See if I can. It says made in the USA, but I can't really read the brand right now. The way the light is in here. A couple more pairs of shears, scissors. Let's see. Can't read the brand on that one, but those need cleanup and sharpening, of course, but I don't know, maybe they are sharp. They're loose. Need a little tightening. Let's see. Some kind of modified nail puller or pry thing. Maybe not modified. It might be factory made. I can't see a brand. A brass garden hose nozzle. It's pretty cool. I always pick up those whenever I see them. I actually use them. The hoses on our house have them. See, a 1 5/16 Mac socket. I actually have a set of Macs. I might not have one this big, so this looks very much like the era that's from. Let's see, New Britain 1 1/4, 12 point as well. Let's go with this. A Plum 15/16. It's in pretty decent shape. I have a set of those I'm trying to build up as well. A ring. Let's see what do we got here. This is a Thorson 3/8. What does that say? 77J6, made in the US. Pretty nice shape. And it has a 7/16 Thorson socket on it. Excuse me. Let's see, we've got a Craftsman 13 and 14 millimeter. I'm drawing a blank of what those are called right now. It's basically like a line wrench. Is that right? Can't remember. Let's see, we got a couple Yamaha 13 and 17 millimeter. And this one is a 14 and 17 millimeter wrench. Those probably came with a dirt bike or something in the 70s. Let's see, we got a Craftsman 19 millimeter combo, a Craftsman 17 millimeter combo. These are numbered. They don't say what series or if they're made in the US, but I think they're old enough to not be imports. So, and then a 15 millimeter one is a number 42919, and it's a VA. I don't know if that's actually an A, but it's a double V series, but one of the V's is upside down. Grab those because I rarely ever find metric ones that size. And let's see, this is a 5/8 Ward's Master Quality. I'm going to send that to my friend Ben. I actually just sent him a box of stuff. I forgot that I had that. It'll make the rotation next time. A little nut driver for a impact. A square, probably for a lathe wrench. Though I didn't look to see if there's a brand. Excuse me. Says 17, and then I can't tell if that's a U or a circle H, but let's see. I'll pull this out of here so I can kind of see what I'm grabbing a little better. A Plum 7/16 square body wrench. A little bit rusty, but as it goes, it's easy to clean. Another one of those square wrenches, close with snap action. I don't know what that means, but it's got a number 27623 on it. Quite possibly for a lathe or included with some kind of machinery. A ratcheting head wrench, says Sears Craftsman on it. 5/16 and 1/4. I always grab these. I like them. They're nice to do for have around for light jobs. Random clamp for something. Not sure. Oh yeah. A 8-inch crescent adjustable. It does have the part, but the nut is missing. That was wired together. So I'll see if I can find a nut for it some other time. And some random drill bit. A Rasol. I don't know if that's actually the name or if it's a shortened vanadium. Open end wrench 3/8 and what is that? 7/16. Kind of nice. It's thin, so I like the low profile ones. I always grab them when I can. Officially a tappet wrench. And here's another one, same brand, 5/8 and what is that? 7/16. A dime alloy, tiny little wrench. It's got some rust in the handle there, but it's a 4-inch. See, works fine. It's hard to do with these gloves on. God, excuse me. Chrome vanadium tappet wrench, again, thin, low profile, does not have a brand name on it. 17 and 16 millimeter. Usually metric ones aren't always around just because there was a limited window when we tried to go metric. But now everything's metric or standard or combination of the two. This is a Bonnie USA point wrench, E22, 9/32 and 5/16 offset. Kind of nice. An early Craftsman blade's in pretty good shape. Tape measure, Add 2 inches for inside measure. Sorry, that was just dumb. Vaco tape measure, a little narrow one. It's always the first few inches that are munged up on these, but this one's really nice. Kind of a nice little thing to have. Let's throw that in the drawer with the rest of them. Oh, this is interesting. It's a tiny little hatchet head. Some of these were marketed as like for tackle boxes. I don't know why they would do, I think this is like a roofer's one. I don't know why they would do that. So maybe it's a salesman sample or something for a child, but it doesn't look like it's ever been sharpened enough to use. So my guess is a salesman sample. And then what else? Oh, there's one of these just random for a female ratchet handle, but I didn't find that. So who knows, but it's got a flat head on one side. It says made in the USA, but other than that, there's no brand name. So hopefully one of these days I'll have the wrench that goes with it. And then a plum swivel head 3/8. Still pretty tight, not too bad. Oh, and there's a stupid Allen key in there, which I'll just throw in the garbage right now because it was one of the short ones. So that was what was in the tray. Let's see what else we got. We have, what is that? 1/2 inch SK 41653 breaker bar with a rubber handle on it. That's in pretty good shape. Might not last on there too much longer, but it's good for comfort. Built for comfort, not for speed. Let's see. Let's get this out of here. Tin of, let's see what's in there. Plugs, wood plugs. Let's see if I can get that off there. Yeah. Fiber plugs, lead core. Huh. Yeah, there's some little cores in there. No idea what those are for. For light fastening into any type of masonry, no special tools needed. So Sears. I don't know. I can't imagine what I'll use those for, but who knows? Someone might want them. And then we got some like grinder stones, a bunch of shaper tools. Looks like it's mostly shaper tools. In the tin, I'm not going to go through every single one. A couple little grinding stones, but for pea grinder. And some other little doodads. Set that aside. Throw those back in there too. See, got a Klein Tools flathead. I always like a larger flathead around for some of the bigger, older stuff, but not sure what this is. It's almost like a depth gauge kind of thing, or I don't know if someone wants to post in the comments what that is for. Looks like it was added on after the fact, but possibly made for this. I'm not sure. Never seen that. Let's see, we got a Hansen drill index, mostly full, and a couple of them have a little bit of surface rust, but they are the actual drill bits, and most of them look unused. So that's kind of nice. These are expensive. Drill bit indexes in general are expensive, but American made ones, especially, See, we got an unmarked vice grips. Oh, not unmarked. It's right here. Let's see if I can get. All I can make out, it says E-grip and some USA patent. It's got some patent writing language on it. A 12-inch, is that 12? Yeah, 12-inch Crescent AT112 made in USA. Crescent Tool Company, Jamestown, New York. Works fine. The edges aren't too bad, bunged up or anything, not really folded over. That's kind of, can maybe file those down a little bit, straighten them out, but otherwise good to go. Craftsman, what is that? V series. 3/4, 5/8. I always like that finish on these, the series. Let's see what else. We have a S-wing leather wrapped claw hammer, the steep claw. I don't know what number that is. I have to clean it up. The numbering's off a little bit right there, but it's kind of dried out, needs some moisturizing and maybe, I don't know. It's pretty tight though. I'm not a fan of claw hammers, but the S-wing ones I will allow in the shop. This is an 11/16 Proto. I can't remember. I looked it up when I was there. It's AN8505-7. It's a specific use tool, I believe, for automotive, but I don't remember exactly. But I had never seen one of those before. So let's see. So, some lathe tooling inserts. These are getting more and more expensive, and I always buy them if they're not used up or broken. Got some scrapers, probably a Red Devil. Doesn't say. Most of them usually are. This one's still got schmutz on it. Looks like rubber cement. But these, I kind of just use them up, and then they're mostly disposable. So actually, disposable is a bad word. Ubiquitous. They're all over the place. They're really common. They're not expensive, but they're very useful when you need one. I always like it when they have the brass pin and rivet. Oh, this was a Red Devil scraper, long, wide one. I actually have replacement blades for these somewhere that were new in box. So it's a good thing to have when scraping paint and glue. And this was weird. I don't know what this is for. They're separate. So maybe some kind of automotive thing would be my guess. But if anyone wants to comment, it's a Dunlap. See if you can see that. Dunlap. The Sears, like, generic home user brand. I don't know. I've never really been able to tell the difference, honestly, unless it's like a drill press or something. So this appears to be some kind of awl, but for stitching. My guess is for leather work. It's a beautiful handle. It's got a brass ferrule on it. Ferrule. Oh, and then we have the 3010 Red Devil scraper. It's a more narrow one, kind of like the big one. They sort of go together. Obviously, one's more used than the other. And then the thing I'm most happy about, some 1, 2, 3 blocks. These are always good to have. Even if they're banged up or not really true, they're good for all sorts of things. They usually have threaded holes. And but you can also stick like rods down in there and stuff like that for different kinds of holding. And of course, it's 1, 2, 3 inches. So they're really good for holding stuff down as well and layout and all that stuff. And that, my friends, is it. Let's get a close up of the logo on the toolbox. So all in all, I think this is probably one of the most fantastic finds I've gotten in a while. Set it down on something. Looks like a pistachio from my snack yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite more recent finds, and I think it was well worth the $10. Way beyond that, actually. Like, there's probably a couple things in here I could sell for just like one thing for $10, but and of course, anything I can't use, I will probably clean up and sell on eBay. And if it's not worthwhile, I'll incorporate it in some artwork, sculptures, or excuse me, again, different projects. Sorry about the coughing. I just drank a whole milk latte, and while it was delicious, my lactose tolerance is waning over the years. Anyway, tell me what you think. Do you like it? Is it worth the cost? You don't need to answer that. It was above and beyond worth it. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thanks for following along, and be sure to, comment, like, subscribe, whatever. If you want to, that's cool. I always like it when people do that. And I also like it when they interact, even if you have nothing nice to say. Thanks again for watching. And hopefully with the weather improving, I'll be having more of these to share with you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And happy hunting.